Take a deep breath. Look around. Notice the relentless rush, the endless scrolling, the pervasive feeling of being busy. But let's ask a truly uncomfortable question. Busy, doing what truly matters. Here's a stark reality check. The average human lifespan, if you boil it down, is a mere 30,000 days. Think about your own age. Every day that's passed is a day you'll never get back. How many more of those incredibly precious, unrepeatable days are you willing to let slip through your fingers? Chasing fleeting distractions and tasks that ultimately hold no real significance? This isn't another airy-fairy guide to squeezing more into your schedule. This is about something far more profound, far more urgent. It's about consciously reclaiming the very essence of your life. Cast your mind back to childhood. Remember, those seemingly endless summer days. Time stretched out, languid and full of possibility. Now, fast forward to today. Years seem to evaporate like morning mist, blurring into a relentless, accelerating current. This isn't just the sentimental haze of nostalgia playing tricks on your memory. It's a real psychological phenomenon known as the time unit paradox. Scientific research reveals that our brains actually perceive and measure time by the density of new experiences we encounter. As children, the world was a constant stream of firsts, each experience leaving a vivid imprint, making time feel wonderfully, almost magically, slow. But as adults, the numbing grip of routine takes hold. The same breakfast, the predictable commute, the familiar glow of the same evening entertainment. Our brains, ever efficient, begin to literally skip the recording of these monotonous moments. Just another Tuesday, another Wednesday. We become trapped in the seemingly comfortable, yet ultimately stifling zone of familiarity. This is the insidious and often unconscious trap of time blindness. But here's the exhilarating truth, the empowering realization. You possess the power to shatter this illusion. You can actively hack your brain's perception of time to make it feel richer, more expansive. How? By consciously and consistently injecting novelty back into your days. Take a different route to work, even if it's just once a week. Dedicate yourself to the challenge of learning a new skill, even a small one, every single month. Strike up conversations with strangers. You'd be surprised by the unexpected insights you gain. Each fresh encounter, each novel experience, forces your brain to sit up, to pay attention, to actively record the moment, effectively making time feel like it's stretching out once more. And here's a critical insight, a massive blind spot that trips up so many. We consistently and wildly overestimate what we can realistically achieve in the span of a single day, yet we drastically and tragically underestimate the monumental progress we can make over the course of a year through consistent, focused effort. That's the silent killer of ambition, the reason so many people prematurely abandon their goals, losing sight of the staggering cumulative impact of small, persistent actions. Now, let's get laser-focused, even ruthless, about what truly commands your attention. Most people fall into the trap of confusing mere busyness with genuine productivity. They meticulously fill their days with a flurry of tasks that appear important, that create a sense of activity. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, they contribute little to nothing of real value. Try this gut-wrenching, perspective-shifting thought experiment, the Deathbed Test. Seriously, allow yourself to vividly imagine yourself at the age of 90, looking back at the tapestry of your life. Will you genuinely care about that extra hour you spent grinding away at the office, that meticulously crafted email that ultimately didn't move the needle? Or will your heart ache with the sharp pang of regret for the precious moments you didn't invest in the people you love, the experiences you missed, the passions you left unexplored? Suddenly, your true priorities snap into stark, undeniable clarity. "I'll just finish this report first," we often rationalize. Meanwhile, the real cornerstones of a fulfilling life, Deep connection, genuine joy, continuous growth fade into the background day after day, sacrificed at the altar of the urgent but ultimately unimportant. Truly successful individuals understand a profound and often counterintuitive truth. Knowing what not to do is infinitely more valuable than knowing what to do. Embrace the two-list strategy. Take a moment right now and write down everything you feel you need to accomplish. Now, with brutal honesty, circle the top 3 items that will genuinely move the needle in your life. Everything else on that list? That becomes your avoid list. Think of the power of compound interest, not just in the realm of finance, but applied to the fundamental choices you make in your life. Small, consistent daily investments in the right priorities yield staggering, life-altering returns over time. But there's a relentless, insidious thief constantly vying for your attention. The hypnotic scroll of social media, the seductive lure of busy work, the constant barrage of notifications and distractions that relentlessly pull you away from what truly nourishes your soul. The solution, though it may feel uncomfortable, is to ruthlessly eliminate the unnecessary. Your time, your finite and irreplaceable life force, is far too precious, too sacred to squander on anything less than what truly matters. Let's talk about relationships. They're not just pleasant social interactions. They are vital sources of energy, of support, of meaning in our lives. Think of each of your significant relationships like a bank account. Every small, positive interaction, every act of genuine kindness, every moment of truly being present is a deposit. Conversely, consistent neglect, broken promises, and a lack of empathy are withdrawals. And just like real financial institutions, you cannot keep making withdrawals if you haven't consistently made deposits. How many times have you heard someone lament, "I don't understand why they're upset with me. I only reach out when I genuinely need something"? That's a recipe for a massive relational overdraft. So many of us mistakenly focus on the grand, sweeping gestures, the expensive gifts, the elaborate celebrations, the once-in-a-blue-moon grand displays of affection. But the often overlooked truth is that the small, consistent daily deposits are what truly build and sustain strong connections. A random text message checking in, remembering a small detail shared during a difficult time, a brief phone call just to say hello. And here's a counterintuitive, yet profoundly important insight. Shared suffering often builds even stronger bonds. Navigating challenging times together, facing adversity side by side, forges deeper and more resilient connections than simply sharing moments of superficial enjoyment. Don't also neglect the power of your weak ties, those acquaintances, those casual friends, those individuals on the periphery of your inner circle. They often serve as crucial bridges to new opportunities, fresh perspectives, and unexpected insights. Strong ties provide comfort and security. Weak ties often facilitate growth and expansion. Want to actually expand your subjective sense of time? Paradoxically, one of the most effective strategies is to genuinely help others. Giving your time and energy to someone else in need often creates a profound feeling of spaciousness, of having more time yourself. Let's pivot to your career, that significant chunk of your waking hours. The most transformative opportunities rarely lie within the familiar confines of your current comfort zone. Instead, they often reside just one courageous step outside that perceived boundary, in that precarious yet fertile sweet spot between what you currently know and what you have the potential to learn and become. "I need to stay in my lane," we often tell ourselves, clinging to the familiar. But that's precisely how careers stagnate, how potential remains untapped. Here's a critical and often repeated career mistake: optimizing solely for immediate financial gain too early in your journey, particularly in your 20s and early 30s. Instead, shift your focus to optimizing for learning. Every new skill you diligently acquire, every new domain you explore, is akin to acquiring a lottery ticket for unforeseen future opportunities. Forget the outdated notion of a rigid, linear career ladder. The modern professional landscape more closely resembles a dynamic jungle gym. You move sideways, you climb diagonally, and sometimes you even take a step back to propel yourself forward. Each seemingly lateral or backward move can build a unique and valuable skill set that ultimately makes you increasingly irreplaceable. That comfortable job, that seemingly secure role, it can often become professional quicksand. The longer you remain in a position you've outgrown, the more your skills atrophy and the harder it becomes to break free. Here's a secret weapon for unlocking unexpected career growth. Embrace productive procrastination. When you find yourself consistently avoiding one crucial but perhaps daunting task, consciously channel that diverted energy into exploring and learning something entirely new. Often, those seemingly tangential procrastination projects can unexpectedly reveal your true passions, the areas where your intrinsic motivation ignites and where your most significant contributions might ultimately lie. Now, let's shift our focus from the finite resource of time to an even more critical element: your personal energy. Masterful time management is ultimately futile if you're constantly running on an empty tank. You simply cannot engage in meaningful work, cultivate deep relationships, or pursue your passions effectively when you're feeling depleted and drained. Astonishingly, most people never consciously audit their energy levels. They fail to recognize that certain activities are inherently energy-giving, leaving you feeling invigorated and alive, while others act as insidious energy vampires, silently draining your vitality. A brisk morning walk in nature? Often profoundly energy-boosting. A toxic friendship characterized by negativity and drama? A significant energy drain. I just need more willpower, we often declare, gritting our teeth. But willpower is much like a muscle. It fatigues with overuse. Truly effective individuals don't solely rely on sheer willpower. Instead, they strategically design their environment to make positive choices automatic, minimizing the need for constant conscious effort. Think about the concept of decision fatigue. Every single choice you make throughout the day, what to wear, what to eat, when to exercise, subtly depletes your finite energy reserves. This is precisely why many highly successful individuals often adhere to remarkably consistent routines, wearing similar outfits and eating the same breakfast. They are consciously conserving their precious mental energy for the decisions that truly demand their focus. Here's an unexpected yet powerful energy hack: embrace strategic incompetence. Deliberately being less than proficient at non-essential tasks can subtly signal to others that you're not the go-to person for those activities, effectively shielding your valuable energy for the tasks where you excel and where your contributions truly matter. Remember this fundamental truth: prioritizing rest and recovery isn't a luxury or a waste of time. It's the very mechanism by which you multiply the value and impact of your waking hours. Ultimately, life isn't about finding more hours in the day. It's about making the hours you have truly count. Every principle we've explored, from understanding the elusive nature of time to nurturing vital relationships, from strategically managing your energy to consciously designing the life you want, works in concert to create a life not just of activity, but of genuine fulfillment. Remember this profound truth: time will continue to march forward, relentlessly. Whether you choose to use it wisely and intentionally, or allow it to slip away unnoticed. Your daily habits imperceptibly shape your days. Your accumulated days mold your years, and your years ultimately define the arc of your life. Start small. Choose just one idea from today that truly resonated with you and commit to experimenting with it, even in a small way. Refine it. Make it your own. The absolute best time to begin truly living fully and intentionally isn't some distant someday. It's right here, right now.